Happy Monday. Thank you for joining me for this week's Weekly Wisdom. Now, I have found myself recently thinking a lot. I'm fine, you're fine, everything's fine. And there's been a whole lot of, frantic energy, if that makes sense. There's a lot happening in the fall. I am only home on weekends in August because of all of the travel. I start my PhD soon. There's a lot happening. And as I was starting to realize that it was a little bit too much and that I needed to start taking some very specific steps to start controlling my own chaos, I figured, why not do it together? So as we get ready for school, as things start ramping up, we're doing a 4-part series all about how do we control our chaos. And this first week is about priorities. Actually, it's about priority. Did you know that the word priority came about in the 1400s and it meant the most important thing? The word priorities, the plural version of priority, didn't come around until the 1940s, which meant priority was singular for 500 years. And then we made it plural. So what does this mean? Well, if everything is a priority, then nothing is a priority. And so when we start saying my family is a priority and my business is a priority and my promotion's a priority and this is a priority and this is a priority, we end up not being able to do any of the things well. And it's okay to have fluctuating priorities. There are times where your professional world will be your priority. Do you have a big project coming? Is there a big promotion that you're working on? Is there something happening? Did your leader shift and now you have a new leader that you're trying to figure out? Or are you the new leader and you're trying to figure out your team? All of these would make your professional world a priority. Now, maybe your family's a priority. Maybe as you're getting ready to go into the school season, you're spending more time with your kids, making sure that they have their clothes and books and book bags and all of the things and the 500 costumes that they're going to need. Like, when did that start? We're going to have a new costume every single day of the week. No, we're not. No, we're not. No, we're not. Sorry. I'm a little bitter about that. It's okay. It's okay. The reason why we're talking about this, other than letting me get some steam off about the amount of costumes required for school, is to understand that your priority, singular, will fluctuate. And that's okay. Are you having conversations with your key stakeholders about what that looks like? We're pretty good in many cases about when our personal world becomes a priority, having a conversation. If you end up, you're about to get married, you're about to have a baby, you're about to have a divorce, you're about to move, we give our leader a heads up. But how often when your professional world becomes a priority, do you give the same courtesy to your family? There are times when having a conversation with your family and saying, look, I'm going after this promotion, it's going to be a really big deal, work's going to be my priority for this amount of time. How can we plan this together so that nobody gets left behind? So that way you feel like you're not having to do it on your own. When we think about the word priority, it was a singular word for 500 years for a reason. If everything is a priority, then nothing is a priority. So your challenge this week, should you accept it, is to spend 30 minutes of solo time, you and music, you and wine, you and whatever you need, but you and no other person, sitting down and really thinking through what are your priorities as you're getting ready to move back into the fall. What does that look like? And who are the stakeholders, both personally and professionally, that you need to have a conversation with so that you can let them know, hey, this is what this looks like. This is how it impacts all of us. Can we have a conversation about that? Part of controlling your chaos, I'm telling this to myself too, part of controlling my chaos is to be intentional about your priority and how it impacts your key stakeholders, whether they are personal or professional. All right. Thank you for joining me for this week's Weekly Wisdom. And just a quick teaser for next week. If you find yourself thinking, I am great at multitasking, you should really watch next week. And if you find yourself thinking, I'm horrible at multitasking, you should really watch next week. All right. Have an amazing week. And don't forget, as always, you got this. I'll see you next week.